Alright guys, I am very frustrated because I have been talking and talking and talking and talking to myself this whole time because apparently my phone did not record anything. Yeah. Gotta love when that happens, huh? Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. Again, for the second time. I'm sorry. I'm so annoyed right now. But the thing is it's already 8 p.m. so I do have to record this video and um get it going. So, yeah. I'm so annoyed right now. I'm sorry. But I'll, boom, snap out of it. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, as you can see, I'm going to be talking about eyeshadow palettes for spring. These are all eyeshadow palettes that I have in my collection. None of these are new eyeshadow palettes. Everything is older palettes. I am trying to help you save some money, and I am also trying to inspire you into finding joy in the products that you already have. There's no need for you to go and buy everything that all new products. You can absolutely find joy in the stuff that you already have. And you know what? This is exactly how I've been feeling lately. I have not purchased any new products since January, and in fact, I have been just wanting to reach out for what I already have. I feel like I have plenty of stuff, and just looking at it, it's like, oh yes, I can do this, I can do this, I can do that. It's cool. It's really, really nice. So I hope that I get to do the same, or I get to, like, I can make you feel the same way, because let's be honest guys, makeup, it's not getting any cheaper. It's actually getting more expensive, and makeup lasts and lasts for so long. Also, like, don't, it is okay if you buy new stuff. I am just, myself personally, I don't like to purchase all the new stuff. This is not a review channel. That's what I'm trying to say. Let me go ahead and introduce myself. If you're new here, hello, my name is Carla, and I'm a makeup enthusiast who loves to create looks and have fun with the makeup that I already have. Like I was saying, I occasionally buy new products and review them for you guys, but the main focus of my channel, to be 100% honest with you, is to help inspire you in trying to, you know, get creative with the things that we already have. So if that is something that you are interested in, I hope that you consider subscribing to my channel. I do videos around stuff that I already have, like project pans, pan that palette. I am trying to get back to shop my stash. Hopefully that'll happen in April, but no promises guys. I've been struggling with that. And multiple looks with one palette, throwback Thursdays, all that kind of jazz. I know that lately I have been, if you have been following me, you can definitely tell that I've been not as consistent with posting videos, and things have been crazy guys. Things have been crazy this year. So but I will talk more about that in next video that I have. It's a life update video, and that video is going to come up next weekend. I already recorded it, so I just need to work on editing it. So yeah, that video will be after this one, a week later or so, like probably next Saturday you'll see that video. But let's go ahead and begin with this eyeshadow palettes that I have here for spring. These are my no new eyeshadow palettes for spring recommendations. So let's go ahead and get started. This one's right here, guys. These are from a collection. I don't remember if this collection came out last year or 2 years ago. I sincerely can't remember. But I'm talking about this one's right here from Oden's Eye. This one is the Seatalk palette from Lauren May Beauty, and this one is the Flora Store palette from Makeup Just for Fun. The creator is, her name is Amanda. These two palettes, guys, I actually were one of the last palettes that I spoke on the first time that I tried to record this video. But these palettes, guys, right here, this one is the Flora Store palette. This one is everybody's purple and green dreams. I feel like, because this is all you get in this palette. Purples and greens with a pop of blue. It's a very, very beautiful palette, and I think it's pretty easy to work with. I really like this. Let me tell you, this pop of blue is very pretty. I feel like all the shades are really, really nice. But in my opinion, let's see some swatches of this one. In my opinion, this palette needs a little bit of extra work. I don't see myself, oh, sorry about the overlap. Like, look at those shimmers. They're absolutely beautiful and stunning. But in my opinion, this is a palette that I cannot do a whole lot of one and done looks, which is what I have been doing lately. As you can see, right now I just have like a one and done with a inner corner other shade, and that's pretty much it, and some like eyeliner. This has been my go-to lately. With this palette, I don't see a whole lot of opportunities for that. I definitely think this is a palette that needs more work. I still think it's very pretty and the colors are very suitable for not only spring actually, this is also very good for summer or year round. I feel like purple is just a good color overall all year, and same thing as green. But because of the tones of it right now, with how they are kind of like muted, I feel like this is a good match or good fit for spring. So if you have this palette, make sure that you pull it out of your drawers, give it some love. It's really, really pretty. But definitely, like I said, I mean, who knows? It might be just lack of creativity from my part. I do not see a whole lot of like variety of looks to create. I do have a 5 looks 1 palette with this one, but I felt like at least 3 or 4 of those looks look pretty similar. But it's still a very beautiful palette, like I said. If you want to find some inspiration, I'm gonna leave that video of my 5 looks with 1 palette on this one right up here. And let's go ahead and move on to the other one that I have over here. This one, like I was saying, is the Seatalk palette from Lauren May Beauty. This one is also very pretty. This one is, in my opinion, I have not touched this one. It's still brand new, so I'm not gonna swatch it. Sorry, guys. This palette right here, guys, it's... I don't know how to say it. It's very pretty. I really like it. And even though I see a little bit of spring in it, I can also see a little bit of winter in this palette. It's like those blues just call winter to me. But then you also have some neutrals here and this beautiful pops of color right here with the electric kelp and the this like pinkish shade. I don't know, it's pretty. I think it has some colors that are definitely suitable for spring, and this palette came around spring, so it also makes me feel like this is a spring-ish palette in the outer packaging. But in all fairness, I do think this palette is good, very good year-round, or like very winter transition to spring, you know what I mean? Because of those pops of colors and some of those blues can, I don't know, it's just, these blues to me are like winter. But then I see neutrals and I see pops of color and I'm like, this can definitely work for spring very well, you know? So again, this, guys, I have not touched it. I hope I get to create a look. There's one look that I have been thinking about for literally a year, maybe? Years? I don't know. Ever since this palette came out and I saw Patti Alonso creating that look that I have in mind, I've been wanting to create that look. I just haven't had, cannot say I haven't had the chance. I just have not given it priority or remember to create it. But hopefully that'll change this year or this season, this spring, and I'll create it because it's really, really pretty. And I just wonder if it's a look that I'm gonna like on myself because it's a lot of blue and I'm not a very blue person, blue eyeshadow person. Next, the next 3 eyeshadow palettes that I have are from Colourpop. So these ones are really cute, really affordable. One of them, I don't know if it's still in stock or not. It might be discontinued, but the other 2 definitely are. This one right here, the first one that I'm going to show you, I'll explain. This one is Just My Luck from Colourpop. And if you can, you're like, Carla, but it's green. How in the world is this spring? Well, first of all, green to me, it's a color that you can use year round. And second of all, Just My Luck, charm, clever, all of that. St. Patrick's Day. When is St. Patrick's Day? March, spring. I know technically St. Patrick's Day falls during winter still, but we can already feel like the spring vibes. Come on. So that's why I put this one right here, you know. I feel like this is a palette that you can only bring out so much because of the green tones in this palette. This is not for those who like something subtle. This is going to be something that it's going to show up and it's going to be bold. Even this 2 right here, the Olive You and the Charmed one, even though they're not like as bold at this shades over here, they're still like very punchy shades. And let me show you right here. I cannot believe that this palette, it's been with me for like 3 or 4 years and it still feels soft. Like those shimmers still feel soft. Something that I do not feel with some other palettes that I have had only for maybe a year or so. But let me show you what I'm talking about whenever I say, even though these ones are like not as bright green or bright green, they're still like bright colors, you know. You see what I'm saying? Like I feel like these colors are colors that you might want to wear for a date or a, you know, nighttime kind of thing. I mean, if you are okay with wearing this on daytime, go ahead, you know, you do you. This to me is just a little too dark, so I definitely don't see myself wearing this on daytime, but they are very, very cute. And everything in this palette is just like that, guys, like very punchy. I feel like you can create something. I actually do have a video with this palette for a St. Patrick's Day look, which I'm gonna link up here. And who knows, maybe I'll come out with a short with this palette. I have not decided yet which palette I want to use for St. Patrick's Day, because there's, and you'll see, there's many other palettes that I have here that are very green leaning, and I could use any single one of them for St. Patrick's Day. But to me, this one is like, is the name and everything in it is just like a special occasion, St. Patrick's Day kind of situation. If you don't like color, if you don't like bright colors, do not even think about this palette. It's not going to be for you. You're not going to like it. But if you are into really, really punchy, dark colors and stuff, this one might be for you. Guys, I kid you not, I'm going crazy, and now I'm standing up every time that I finish talking about a palette just so I make sure that it's still recording, because I do not want to have another situation where, you know, I lose a whole video, maybe an hour and a half of me talking about palettes, and then I'm talking to it turned off camera. That's the absolute worst. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on. The next eyeshadow palette that I have here, it's the one that I have on my eyes today. I definitely went for a one and done. Well, maybe two, because I, you know, for my inner corner, I did use another eyeshadow palette just for that. And, you know, just the eyeliner. But eyeshadow, like whatever you see on my eyes right now, is just a one and done, or a one color from this palette right here, also from Colourpop, and it is from, you know, the Pantone of the year is Peach Fuzz, something like that. So this one is going to be Baby Got Peach, because peach is like a spring color, and not only is going to be a spring color, but it's also, turns out that peach is going to be the color, it's the color of the year, it's the color of 2024. So here it is, how this palette looks like. It is very pretty, but I'm gonna say this, if you have a darker skin tone, this is not going to show up a whole lot on you, so I would definitely skip on this one. There's another one that I have here that might be better for you, but as for this one, the one shade that I have on my eyes is this perky shade right here. Very, very cute. I definitely like it. I mean, I really like how it looks, you know? It's just, like I said, a one and done, and I feel and look put together. And even though I'm not going anywhere because it's raining and it's already dark as it's 8 p.m. Yeah, but it's still a very beautiful palette. There's not a whole lot of depth in this palette, so to me this is a perfect one and done, maybe two and done eyeshadow palette. If you want to add some shimmer to this, you totally could. I did not want to do that today. I just wanted to, you know, keep it matte and just a little bit of like stuff on my inner corner. That's it. But this palette, guys, it's, like I said, really nice, really cute, perfect for everyday wear, and it's like springy tones because you get those peachy tones. I know that it has a pressed glitter over here. I personally do not like to use this ones on my eyes, but whenever the weather gets a little bit warmer and I'm wearing something that shows maybe my shoulders or my collarbone, I like to use those pressed glitters on those areas just to give it a pop of like sparkly stuff and whatnot. This one right here, Baby Got Peach from Colourpop. I'm gonna link it in the description box down below. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that this and the Just My Luck are palettes that they still have in their collection, because they're like, these are like permanent ones. The next one, I'm not so sure, but I am talking about this one. It's gonna be a little bit similar, but you'll see. I'm talking about Coast to Coral. This one right here, guys, it's a little bit, it looks similar, in my opinion, to Baby Got Peach, except that this one has a little bit more depth, and it's more pink than peachy, obviously. But you get here these two tones. Like if you have a darker skin tone, I feel like this one would definitely suit you better than the other one, because this two or this three and even this one will show up better on your skin than this, you know, this two might not show up so much, and definitely than the other palette. Like it's just not gonna be a really, really good one for you. But an absolutely beautiful palette. You get also some nice shimmers over here. This is not like my favorite. For this one, I need to be on the mood of something more bright on my eyes. I still think it's pretty, and I do like this palette. I feel like it has a lot of things that the other one doesn't have. For example, I like to mix this one with the other one whenever I'm looking for something darker. For example, this brown shade over here, or this one, whenever I'm trying to create more depth on the outer corner of my eye, because the other one does not have that. It does not have dimensions. So this is a palette that I like to use at the same time as the other one. Sometimes, not always. Like for example, today I just didn't feel like doing that. I just wanted a one and done. But very beautiful palette, guys. I hope that you like it. I am not sure, like I said, if this one is still part of, or it's still in stock. You know how Colourpop gets rid of collections and things, and I feel like this is one of those that they got rid of. This was like a limited edition type of collection. I feel like they need to put that on their things though. Oh, like limited edition, limited edition, limited edition, just so we know what's actually part of their permanent collection. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I have not seen that. But I have not purchased Colourpop in a long time either. So who knows? Maybe they changed now and maybe they haven't. If I find this one, I'm going to link it in the description box down below if you want to get it. And if not, I am so sorry. But if you have it, hopefully this is a palette that you can pull out of your drawers and use it, you know, during this season. Like I said, it's perfect for a one and done, but it's also good for something more elaborated if that's what you are into. Alright guys, let's talk about the next eyeshadow palette that I have here. This one is the only one that I have from this brand, but I absolutely like it. This is a very beautiful palette. And this one is the Sugar High Artistry palette from Menagerie Cosmetics. This one right here, just, it's a very beautiful packaging. I really like the little flying squirrel right here. But just look at this. It's like a kind of like a rainbow palette. I don't know. It's very pretty. I really like this palette over here. Not all of the shades in this palette I like for spring, but definitely shades that I do and I'm looking forward to use during the spring is this Sugar Cube, Sweet Varieties, Yogurt Drop, maybe Num Num, Joey, and Sugary Sweet. Like these five, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, this 6. The 6 shades, they're just like really cute, perfect for a one and done, maybe two and done kind of thing. Now, I'll say this about this palette though. This one does stain a little bit, especially those blues. Those blues are very So if you are planning on doing something the next day where you really need to remove your makeup and be like, no makeup or no trace of makeup at all, this might not be the palette for you. I am not sure that they still have this one in their collection. If they do, I'm going to link in the description box down below for you. But yes, guys, let me just give you some swatches so you can see. Of course, whenever I think of spring, I do think of pastel tones. And that's exactly what I am going for with this palette. Just look at this. I don't remember what color. Oh, this is that lilac-y shade. Just very cute. This one is the blue shade. This one is Sugar Cube. This shade right here, I like it. I know that in here doesn't look like a whole lot of color or pigmentation, but I like that this shade actually, if you put it on top of different shades, it switches like the tone of this shimmer. Like it definitely has, you definitely have multiple opportunities to switch and change this shade. It's not the same as if you use, for example, this one, the Sugary Sweet. This one is just fuchsia and period, you know? Like, you cannot put it on top of something else and expect it to look different. It's going to look like that. But this one right here definitely has more opportunities for you to change the look of it or the look of a matte that you have. And it is absolutely pretty. But yeah, guys, this palette is just, I really like it. I definitely see a whole lot of spring in here. And I am very excited to reach out for this palette. It's the only one that I have from the brand, but it made it to my top favorites of 2022, actually, because of the pigmentation and the looks that I could create with this one. I also have a 5 looks 1 palette with this one. I'm going to put it up here on the cards. And I feel like every look that I created with this was something different. And one of my favorite looks of all times, I created it with this palette. So I am very excited and happy with this. Like I said, this eyeshadow palette. It's just very cute, and I definitely see myself reaching for this one during this spring. Alright guys, next I'm going to be talking about the 3 Natasha and Denona eyeshadow palettes that I have here for this spring season. These are the 3 eyeshadow palettes from her that I see, and I'm just like very inspired to use, because to me this is just spring, you know? Especially this first one that I'm going to be talking about. This one, if I don't talk about this one during spring, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm definitely doing something wrong, because this is a spring palette. And again, whenever I think of spring, I think of all of the beautiful colors, springy tones and all of that stuff that, you know, because it's spring, it's flowers start to bloom and all of that stuff. Very beautiful, light and bright colors, all of that kind of things. This is what this palette reminds me of, and I'm talking about the Natasha Denona Pastel palette. This one, I know it's not the favorite for a whole lot of you. I cannot say the same thing, guys. To me, this one is a favorite of mine. I have truly enjoyed this palette a whole lot. It's been one of my most used palettes from her, and I definitely pull it out during this season because it's just when I get the most use out of. I absolutely love this shades right here. Like, it's so pastelish, perfect for spring. You get the peach tone if you want to do something peach for, and it's also, you get a lot of options for a one and done, in my opinion. Like, you can use this feather shade as a one and done. You can use this Bellini shade as a one and done. You can also use this Tulle shade as a one and done. Now, for this one right here, the blue ones, in my opinion, are not somewhat, the blue ones and the green ones are not so much of a one and done for me. I don't like that. But I definitely like them as a pop of color in some of my looks. So this palette, I know for sure I'm going to be reaching out for it. I just absolutely like it. I like looking at it. Let's do it. Go ahead and do some swatches from this one. This one I also really like. Which other one? Let's do, oops, this one and this one. Let's see. Of course I have green over here. So let's try to find another spot right here. So this is how it looks like. Like, look at that. I know, I'm sorry, I can't see, okay? So I don't know exactly what I'm doing. But look at this blue. It's so beautiful. And then you look at this one over here too. Like, it's just, these colors are absolutely stunning, guys. And it didn't take a whole lot for me to make them look this bright. That's what I love about Natasha Denona shimmers sometimes. They're just good, you know? You might not have like the multi-chrome factor that some of indie brands have, but you do get really good quality and it's going to show up on your eyes no matter what. So yes, guys, I definitely like this palette. I know that I'm going to be reaching out for this one a whole lot during this season. I can see myself doing a whole lot of one and done, which I don't know if I said it already, but that's what I've been going for lately. Like, I don't have time to do a whole elaborated look. I just want to feel put together at times, so I just put one color and I'm good to go. So I'm definitely reaching out for those that look a little bit more natural or they're not so crazy. For example, the pinks, the peaches, or even a little bit of like lilac-y purple-ish type of shades. That's what I'm reaching for. Just something quick, something to get me out of the door, if I even have time to put on makeup before I need to get out of the door. Let's go ahead and continue with the next eyeshadow palette that I have. Oh, by the way, guys, for the Natasha Denona palettes, I'm gonna be also linking them in the description box down below. I know that at least 2 of the 3 that I have here are for sure in stock. I'm not so sure about the third one, but I'll talk about that whenever time comes. My links with Natasha Denona are affiliated codes. If you purchase through my link, you get a 15% discount and I get a commission. I do earn a commission every time that you purchase through my link or use my code. My code I'm going to put over here is Carla Ileana, all together, no spaces in between, just Carla Ileana, and it will give you again 15% off of your 15% discount from Natasha Denona's website. Let's go ahead and keep going. This one over here is the Natasha Denona Retro Glam palette. Another palette that whenever she came out with, I was like, this is a spring palette. I don't know what you're bringing in at the end of October or / November. I don't remember. It was something like that, to not 2023 but 2022. This one right here, guys, it's for those of you, it's still a spring palette, but it's for those of you that like more muted tones. It's not as bright, not as colorful as the pastel palette, but you still get a bit of color, you know? You get definitely your neutral ones, taupey, and this one is a cool tone for sure. This is the reason why I don't reach out for this palette a whole lot, because it's cool tone, and cool tones and I are not the best friends. I definitely am more into regular neutral, like neutral, true neutral undertone, or warm tones. But once in a while I'll reach out for a cool tone, because why not, you know? It is okay. I have to feel it for me to want to use it. But yeah, guys, this palette over here, as you can see, it has some neutral shades over here in case you are not feeling like wearing anything crazy that day. It has some pinks over here that also look very subtle, but it still give you a little bit of color. And those greens right here, they are not crazy, punchy, look at me greens. These are just like a nice, subtle toned down greens. So if these are your kind of tones, if you are still not too much into color, but you still want to, you know, add a little bit of something, I think this palette would be good for you. Let's go ahead and swatch this shade right here, this one right here, this one right here. I love her shimmers. This, I think this is Flutter. Is it Flutter? Yeah, it's Flutter. But here it is. Let me just go ahead and swatch. This one is the pink one. Very pretty. This one, let's see. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. I really like that Flutter shade because it's just so bright, so perfect for either a one and done whenever you want something more like ethereal. You don't put a whole lot, you just kind of like tap it on your eyelid and it looks absolutely stunning. Or it's also a perfect shade for an inner corner whenever you have like this and then you just put that on your inner corner and boom, you are good to go. It's again a very pretty, definitely, I'm not gonna lie, it's just not my favorite Natasha Denona palette. I have many others that are my favorite. I feel like I would put this one like maybe in the last place, sincerely. And it is just because it's a cool tone palette. And I am not into cool tones. That's the reason why I did not buy the Glam palette, like the one that is all neutral and has like the names of like where you put the shade, like outer lid, inner corner lid, and all of that stuff. That's the reason why I didn't purchase that one, because it's a full-on cool tone palette and I am not a cool tone like person at all. So that's why this one ranks really low on my list for my favorite Natasha Denona palettes, but I still think it's a pretty palette. I do not dislike it. It's just not my preferred undertone for my skin. That's pretty much, that's it. That's the whole reason why. But I feel like I still have to give you the recommendation in case that cool tones are for you, especially because I feel like cool tones are like so in lately, but it's just, they're just not for me, okay? So with that being said, Natasha Denona Retro Glam palette. If you have it, make sure that you pull it out of your drawers, give it some use, especially right now during this season. I feel like it fits just perfectly. And if you don't, but you have been wanting to get it, this is your sign that you should probably get it. And you know what? You should get it at a discount with my code. Let's go ahead and keep moving with the last Natasha Denona that I have here. This one is the Natasha Denona Triochrome palette. This is the one that I am not 100% sure if it's still in stock or not, because I know that this one was a limited edition palette. So who knows? It might not be in there anymore. But if you have it, guys, this is your sign that you should be pulling it out this season, because look at this color story. You get greens, St. Patrick's Day or any other day. Purples, perfect for those of you who have brown eyes like me. And peaches, or kind of like peach neutrally shades. Hey, Pantone of the year, here it is. And it is all in these beautiful tones that are not so dark, that still gives you like a pastel kind of vibe. Perfect for, like I said, spring. And it's just, I don't know, guys, I absolutely like this palette. If you have this palette, definitely pull it out, because it's not a cheap palette, guys. This is one of her full-size expensive palettes. I feel like she has not come out with anything this size anymore. This palette, I gotta say, is for those of you, if you are going to purchase this palette, if it's still available, of course, it's going to be because you are in love with the mattes, because this palette is nothing but mattes. Those three Triochrome shades are not really Triochrome, okay? They're pretty shades, but I do not think they're Triochrome. They're just some nice shimmers, okay? And not very like bright shimmers. So for those of you that do not like a very punchy, bright, sparkly shimmer like most of indie eyeshadow brands do, this one would be your kind of shimmers, not Natasha Denona shimmers. But yeah, guys, I definitely see myself reaching out for this one a whole lot. Again, I am just really like purples, and you get some lilac-ies over here, perfect for spring. You get the peach tones right here with the Ditonic shade, I think it's called. Very pretty. Then you have here like also this green ones. I don't know, it's just pretty, okay? And this one is a whole creamy matte palette, which means if you do not like the cream to powder formula, you don't have to worry about that with this one, because there's no cream to powder here. But let's see, let's swatch this ones right here. And again, I'm going in with a light hand. I don't like going in like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not me. And here's the thing, like whenever you see it on the fingers, maybe you can see a little bit of a shift, but it's not a big shift, you know? It's not a Triochrome at all, in my opinion. This is just a regular nice shimmer, and like, I don't discredit that. I just don't think it should be called Triochrome, because these are not Triochromes. But look at those shimmers. They are absolutely beautiful. They went on really pretty, like butter, flawless, no patchiness anywhere. They are pretty. But the star of this palette are going to be the mattes, guys, not those shimmers. So if you have this palette, this is your sign to pull it out of your drawers and get it to use, because it's pretty expensive and you do not want your money to go to the trash because it went bad and you didn't use it. And if you don't have it and you want to use it, but you think it's too expensive, remember, you can get 15% discount using my code if it's still available. I really don't know if this palette is still available or not. If it is, I'll put it in the description box symbol. If not, I'll just say over there, discontinued. Alright guys, I have 4 more palettes. So let's go ahead and keep moving. These next 2 palettes that I have are from the same brand, and it is from, I don't know if it's Cosmic Brushes or Cosmic Beauty, something like that, but I'm talking about the Delicious Lights and Muse palette. These 2 right here, let me show you. I'm gonna start with the Muse one. These ones, guys, I have not used them, so I'm not gonna swatch them. If I have not touched a palette, I don't do swatches, okay? This one right here, guys, absolutely beautiful palette. Just look at this. I do see a lot of potential on this one for spring because it has all those pinks. It has all those greens, but it also has a few purples right there. And this is the one palette that I was struggling with because I see a lot of greens and I feel like I can use this one for a St. Patrick's Day look, you know? But at the same time, it's like just my luck. You can really only use it, in my opinion. You can use it whenever you want, but knowing me, I can only reach out for that palette on St. Patrick's Day. So it makes me feel like I need to use that one. Like I said, this palette right here, absolutely beautiful, guys. I just am in love with it. I want to touch it, but I won't because, like I said, I have not used it yet. So, let me talk to you why I see spring in this palette. I feel like I already said it, but let's talk a little bit more in depth. So, first of all, you have the greens, which are St. Patrick's Day, spring, whatever. Let's go ahead now and talk about this Sweet Pea shade, Muse, Petal, even Water Lily, Haze, Admire, Nouveau. All of those colors are not necessarily pastels, but they are not super bright and shocking. You know, you can still get some soft looks out of this palette. Of course, Cosmic Brushes or Cosmic Beauty, whatever they're called now, are pressed pigments, which means they're going to be very pigmented. So you need to go with a light hand on this shades for sure. This is not going to be something that you can just and you know, you need to make sure that you grab a little bit, go with a light hand, and then keep adding more as you see fit. But if not, but yeah, guys, very, very pretty. You can do like the Muse shade as your eyelid, and then Sweet Pea just as, you know, to blend it and all of that stuff, or just a one and done if you want to go just all matte or all shimmer. You know, today I went all matte, but who knows, tomorrow maybe I want to go all shimmer. I don't know. Very beautiful palette, guys. Very, very pretty. Has a lot of potential, not only for spring, but I can definitely see the spring in this palette. But I also for other seasons like summer and fall and all of that. But, you know, if you needed some inspiration for spring, I'm trying to give you which kind of colors you could use for this season. Alright guys, let's go ahead and talk about the next eyeshadow palette that I have here. This one is the Delicious Lights from, again, Cosmic Brushes or Cosmic Beauty. I don't know which one is it, okay? I feel like on Instagram there's still Cosmic Brushes, so I don't know. But here's this palette. This one over here, guys, it's an absolutely beautiful, beautiful, beautiful palette. Just look at this. If this doesn't scream spring to you, I don't know what it will. Okay, well, we all have different definitions of how spring should look like, but to me, this is like spring in all of its glory, because spring, it's a lot of colors, all the flowers, all of this, growing new leaves, everything. So this is to me that. And everything is like in pastel tones and stuff. I don't know, to me, I just cannot wait to put my hands on this one. You can go with this one for very elaborated looks, trying to create like a very colorful look, or you could also go with this one with 1 or 2 and done, which is probably what I'm gonna be doing if I'm honest with you. I can definitely see myself using the minty and fizzy as a 2 and done, or just minty by itself. I can also see using lollipop in case that I want, you know, fizzy and lollipop also go together. Definitely marshmallow by itself, milkshake by itself, or maybe milkshake with frosting, maybe a little bit of sweetie, not so sure. The ice pop also, it's a good one for a 1 and done. All of these shades are absolutely beautiful. There's obviously some other ones, and then this whipped cream, like it's a matte white. How often you get a matte white in a palette, you know? But definitely, if you want to go with something more colorful, or you want to add depth to your look, that's something that you can also do, because it has other very dark shades over here, like the shade Charms, or Jelly Bean, or, well, maybe Gingerbread, not so much, but Slushy, like this 2, 3, and also some other shimmers are on the darker side. Gives you a whole lot of possibilities of looks that you can create with this, plus the variety of colors. You get multiple shades of green, multiple shades of pinks, maybe not so much on the yellows and oranges, but also some multiple shades of purples and multiple shades of blues. So you have options with this one. I don't know if it's still in stock or not. It might be. But anyway, guys, those are palettes that I don't know if they have in stock. If they do, I'm gonna put them in the description box down below, and if not, I'm still gonna put the link. I'm just gonna let you know, like, hey, on this date it's gonna be back in stock. But if you have them, again, I'm not trying to encourage you to buy anything. I'm just saying, like, if you really want one of these palettes, if you have been, because all of these palettes are older palettes. So if by today you're still thinking about these palettes, maybe you should go ahead and get them. You know, it's not like an impulse purchase at this point. It's something that you have been wanting for a minute, and it's been over a year and you still haven't purchased it. I think you're allowed to purchase it if you can afford it, of course, because I don't know what your situation is or what anybody's situation is, but if you are in position to purchase it, this is your sign of, yes, you can go ahead and do it, okay? This one that I have over here, it's also from Oden's Eye, and it's a newer palette. This one came out in December, and the reason why I'm putting it over here, you'll see why. But this is the Hey Reindeer palette, and again, this one was one of their newer palettes for Christmas. But guys, this is not a Christmas palette, okay? This is a spring palette in my opinion. Just look at it, and it has all of those light pastel tones that you normally look for during spring, or that at least I know I do. The purple, the light blues, the pink, you know, I don't know why, but I look at this palette, and to me this palette, it's a spring palette, not a winter palette at all. I feel like this was a missed opportunity from their part, and they could have done a different color palette for this palette, but hey, it is what it is. They got it, and you know what, it gives us an opportunity to do a good transition winter to spring, or in spring palette looks and all of that stuff, so you don't get stuck into just one season like with some other palettes that are very, very like, oh, this is a Christmas palette, you know. You get more options with this. So this one right here, I really, really like this wreath shade. I really, really like this. Where is it? The Candy Canes. Oh my gosh, Candy Canes is absolutely stunning. I don't know how to describe that shade. It has a lot of like cute sparkles, and it just shifts so much. Like, just look at this shine over here. It's absolutely pretty. I absolutely like it. Now, I'll say this. I can totally feel the difference between these shimmers that are newer than the shimmers on this palette that are not so new. That it could be a different feeling because it's a different formula. Because this wreath shade, no, not the wreath one, this Christmas stocking and this presents shade, they're more flaky, so they definitely feel harder in comparison to Candy Canes, which is more of a soft, glittery shade. Alright guys, let's go ahead and talk about the last eyeshadow palette that I have over here. This one, guys, it's an absolutely beautiful palette. I have not used this palette, so I'm not going to touch it, okay? I'm sorry. But I definitely want to use this palette this season. Ever since I purchased, I've been wanting to use it. And this is just, I love it. Okay, I love it. This one is from GlamLite, and it's the Ice Cream Dream palette. Just look at those little sprinkles. moving. I don't know. Everything from the packaging of the palette itself and the other packaging that it came with, it's right there. It's the, I don't know if you can see it, probably not, but it came in a little ice cream truck box. It's just beautiful, okay? Absolutely beautiful. And wait until you see the inside. You probably have seen it because it's not a new palette, but here it is in all of its glory. This beautiful palette. Just look at this. I really, really like it. And I feel like you have a bunch of options on this one to go with either one or two and done, but you also get some nice neutrals here. So you can either go purple. These purples are a bit more cool tone as you can see, but you also get some pinks, you get some greens, you get one blue over here. Well, actually two blues in case you want to go blue. You also get a few like this mango shade if you want to go with a punchy yellow. It's also there. And you also get some darker shades with the shimmers and also some mattes over here like the chocolate and black cherry in case that you want to add more depth to your look or just intensify. But you also get neutrals. Just look at all the neutrals over here. They all have like an ice cream kind of thing name. So this is chocolate, salted caramel, rocky road, pecan praline, I don't know how to pronounce that, cookie dough, even peanut butter over here, strawberry cheesecake. These are all like neutral shades in case that one day you are not feeling like wearing something colorful, you know. This palette, you are not attached to using only color or wearing only colorful looks. You can definitely go with something more neutral for your everyday. And you also get like those peaches, for example, here, like with the orange cream. I feel like that's more, a little bit more neutral, kind of like something that you would get from the Coast to Coral shade from palette from Colourpop. This is something you could, you know, they would look kind of similar, or the Baby Cat Peach. I don't know, one of those two for sure. So yeah, guys, with this one you have lots of possibilities. You also get different textures from what I can see. These ones here look like the same, but this cookie dough is different. This salted caramel is different. I don't know. It's absolutely pretty. I cannot wait to put my hands on this one. This is definitely a palette that it is my goal to use it and create something with this. I'm very excited. I'm gonna leave it in the description box down below. If I don't know if GlamLite has discontinued it or not. I purchased this one on sale last year for $20, so it was a 50% discount, which made me feel like maybe they were getting ready to take it out of their collection. Hopefully not, because I think it's a very beautiful palette, and I would not like for you to miss out on this one if you've been keeping an eye on it for a long time, or if you're looking for something. This is like, it's a GlamLite. It's an indie eyeshadow brand. Their quality is good. I've tried some of their other eyeshadow palettes before, and I do think their quality is good. As for this one in particular, or pastels, I don't know because I have not tried their pastels, but I do think that this, like the brand itself, it's a good brand. So, like I said, if I find it, I'm going to leave it in the description box down below. If not, I am so sorry. I hope you can find it somewhere because I do think this palette is beautiful. Can't speak for quality, but if it is anything like the other palettes that I've used from them, it's going to be just fine and great. Alright guys, I am very excited that for the second time around, I finally am finishing this video. It sucks that the first time I didn't record anything, but here we are. Alright, like I said, next week I'm gonna be coming up with that life update video. Yeah, in case that you want to know what's happening lately in my life, it's not bad stuff. Well, you know, it's been a roller coaster. Let's put it that way. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster, but everything is going to be fine. I trust that that everything is going to turn out the way it is supposed to turn out. I trust in God and whatever He thinks that our plans or our future should be. So everything is going to be just fine and great. And well, that is it, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you enjoyed these eyeshadow palettes that I showed you. Hopefully I inspired you into or reminded you of some palettes that maybe you have in your collection that you have not used in a long time, or who knows, maybe you just, remember that, oh yeah, I have actually been wanting this palette for a really long time. And who knows, because they're older palettes, they might have been on some sort of sale or anything. I don't know. But if you have been wanting these palettes for, like, if you still want one of these palettes and it's still available, guys, I'm just going to say go ahead and get it. It's been a long time. I think that you should definitely consider buying it if you still feel strongly about any of these ones. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell notification button so you don't miss any single one of my videos. I will see you next week on that live update. It's it's kind of like nerve-wracking to it was a little bit to record that video and stuff. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching again. Thank you so much for your patience and for sticking with me. I know that probably after I post this video, I'm gonna lose a bunch of subscribers, but because that's always what happens. You post a video, you lose a bunch of subscribers, but then you maybe get some. I don't know. It is what it is. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. I'm not gonna take so much more of your time. Thank you so much for watching again, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. I will see you on the next one. Bye.